Welcome to Manufacturing Tech Australia.
I'm here with John from OPEX. John, welcome to Manufacturing Tech Australia.
Thanks for stopping by.
No, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about old Peltier here, the robotic esky.
So what we've done here is we're the first to bring to market the opportunity to store in our ASRS system, Perfect Pick and or Infinity, and have multiple temperature zones through the utilization of what we call ACTs, or actively cooled totes.
Yep.
So our partnership with Peltier, this particular tote is keeping our bottles of water nice and cold.
Yeah,
You'd like one? So what we do is we would store this tote within our racking structure, keeping it on a power rail and charged, and keeping it at temperature. It's an IoT device, so you're tracking the temperature at all times.
Yeah.
And so the product inside is safe. When that product is needed for distribution or for an order fulfillment, our robot would bring it down to a goods-to-person station. The operator can open the lid this way, or remove it entirely.
Yeah, right.
So the initial thought was, buy online, pick up in-store grocery applications.
Yep.
But it's gotten a lot of attention from the pharmaceutical space, as well as biochemistry type spaces. So we're really excited about it. We came out with the technology in January of this year. We won a few awards for the innovation in cold chain, and we're really excited to see how it develops in the future.
Amazing. So, I mean, my initial reaction was going to be this would make sense in cold storage, and you've already come up with the 3 or 4 use cases that makes a whole bunch of sense.
Yeah.
What's feedback from the market like?
So there's a lot of folks that have, the overwhelming majority of their SKUs are ambient temperature stored, but they have a handful of frozen and a handful of chilled. So we can supply all 3 of those temperature zones within the same structure and get the speed and accuracy you get from high-speed goods-to-person solutions.
Yeah. So this will go like sub-zero in terms of Celsius.
Yes.
Yeah. And so what ambient temperature is going to operate at?
So a typical ambient temperature would be how we have operated historically. This is a sample of that goods-to-person system we call Perfect Pick.
Yeah.
And this could be a regular open bin like we see here, or it could be a tray carrying the ACT, and they'll all be stored in the same structure.
Right.
So the whole room's ambient. If I have maybe 20, let's say I have 12,000 bins in the aisle, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 can be temperature controlled, whether it's frozen or chilled.
Yeah, but in an unrefrigerated factory, that's not going to be a problem because these guys can handle it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So you don't have to buy the AC units and the cooler and freezer infrastructure. And if you're leasing a space, that can be very challenging oftentimes. So this unlocks that. And another benefit we see with this is if you have a large freezer and you have all your inventory in it, a lot of times, especially when you get into like the pharma space, very expensive. Yeah. And if something goes wrong with that cooler or freezer,
you lose a lot.
You lose a lot.
Yeah.
And you have to buy a lot in backup systems. With this, less inventory in the tote, less risk of value if the tote should fail.
Yeah. So how many liters is this tote here?
Yeah, I don't know that off the top of my head.
That's cool. And is this the only size?
So the frozen and chilled are the same size on the outside. The chilled is the frozen's a little smaller inside because of additional insulation.
Yeah. And is there a typical or a minimum number of units you need to be running to set your system up?
A very small system would be about 1,000 locations. Yep. They grow up to a single aisle, could be up to 12,000 locations. We have another system we call Infinity that basically we can grow that to an infinite number of bin locations. Yep. And that Infinity system will also support the Peltier technology.
Awesome.
We also have a full line of robotic small item sorters. Another system that we're really excited about is our SureSortX with the ability to extract completed orders. So the idea is I can introduce items one at a time. Those items can weigh up to 9 kilos. Yep. I sort it to a bin. That bin could be a customer order. Once that order is complete, another robot would pull that bin back inside the aisle and deliver it to an I/O point to send it directly to the pack out station. So you're talking about a single touch for a batch pick to sortation type operation.
So, obviously Australia's a fairly big footprint in terms of where you guys are operating out of in Australia. You've got multiple sites, just one, or how do we have?
Multiple customer sites. Yep. We're a US-based company. We manufacture in the US. We have assets here in Australia for service and sales. Yep. We also leverage some partners in the territory. But yeah, we have multiple sites It's historically centered around Sydney. We do have our first installation here in Melbourne complete and running, and our second one coming soon. In the end of August, we'll start that installation.
Yeah. And in terms of sales and service, have you got operatives right across the country?
So the gentleman behind you is our main sales activity for all of APAC, actually.
Okay.
And then we have service technicians that can visit the sites and make repairs for the system, and we scale that up as the territory grows from there.
Amazing.
I love the country. I always enjoy my time here. Sydney, I spent a week in Sydney, now I'm here in Melbourne, and everything's been... other than it being winter, a little chillier than normal, it's fine. From where I come, it's still decent weather. So.
Awesome. Right, John, thanks for being on the show.
You.
Really appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Yep. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for tuning in to Manufacturing Tech Australia with Shane and Paul.